Hello everybody and welcome back to Witcombe Park Farm. So it has been a rather long time since I last did a recording. I think it must have been about 2 weeks. So I've had 2 weeks off basically, and it's been lovely. It has been very, very nice, especially to spend a fair bit of time with the family. But we're back now, and what is even better is all my videos are now completely caught up with me. So this video that I'm recording now, it will be released tomorrow on Friday. Anyways, I've got a lot to catch up on, a lot to learn, a lot to know where we've been and done, because especially with this new soil fertilizer mod, I was only just learning it myself. So I have had a quick look round to try and figure out what needs doing. And I believe once we get this rolled, because this is canola, I think. I'll have to double check that. Once we get this rolled, we do have a lot of spraying to do, because on a lot of our fields, pests are up at 50%. So we need to do this one, we need to do the poplar one, and we need to do the field down by the animal dealer, which I think that could be our worst one to do, but that's not even cultivated. We've cultivated, I think, 2 strips of it, so we are going to have to go and get that done as well. But anyways, let's get this rolled very, very quickly, and I will then bring you back. Right, let's get ourselves out of here and let's take these off, which luckily I remember how to do that. And we are going to have to go and have a look at pesticides, I believe. So let's go to insecticides, I'm going to say. Just have a look at all these. I've got to remember which way around these all are. I can't remember. Liquid DAP, liquid MAP. Potash, right, so it's going to be insecticides, must be insecticides. So let's buy a thing of that and hop back into here. Now, where did I leave the sprayer? I'm going to imagine that I left it down here. And I believe was I just spraying normal fertilizer in one of the previous episodes? Because I have a feeling, did we have some fertilizer in our tanks here? And I thought, well, if we use them up in there, we can then sell the tanks, which will give us a bit of money. You know, put it on Facebook Marketplace or something like that. But right, let's reverse onto there, and we'll put this on. And whilst we're here, what I will do is, because I can't remember how everything was, is what is happening over in our cows. Well, that was a noisy one, shouting at us then. Right, it's not telling me. Let's go into here, and then here. So, we're doing very, very well with our breeding, if they're all like this. And then this, so has that one given... It should say if one's just given birth, I think. Yeah, recovering from last one. So these are proper little baby-making machines, and all of them have been cows, because that's still the original bull that we bought. So that's very, very good. But right, now we've had a look at them and that they are all fine, let's now go have a look for, here we go, milking parlour, animal health, 100%. And we are producing plenty of milk. There's plenty, well, there's a third of a trough full of food, manure, 2,500 litres, slurry. So I must have just done the slurry in the previous episode. So that's brilliant. Right, let's get into here and we'll go down to the store. Will probably be the best thing. And I cannot forget, let's lift that up. We'll dump the liquid fertilizer back into there. Look at our little gauge going up. Or down. Well, it's going up on there, but down as well. And let's get to the store. The paintwork on this tractor's really starting to fray now, but I ain't paying to have it redone. And oh my days, it must be this first IBC that's here. Let's have a look. Pallet owned. Crop Solutions. Yeah, that must be the insecticide. Does it say where it is? No, that doesn't tell me anything. Do these ones tell me what they are? No, just owned by me. That's not very helpful, is it? Does it say on the liquid fertilizer? Nope. Right, well that's the one I presume that we want to be going for. It may tell us once we pull up alongside it and start pumping it in. At least I hope it does, because I don't want to be going with the wrong thing. So let's start the pump there. There we go, yeah, insecticide. And then we'll go test it on, I think, is it field 59? We'll go test it there, and we'll get a reading outside. Well, reading before outside the tractor I'm on about. We'll get a reading before, so once we get to the field we'll jump out, see what pest is, and then we'll spray it and then see what happens again with that. I can't imagine we're really going to see any difference in the field. It's purely just going to be on the stats. And there's our discount. I would never have thought of that. Right, pests, 54%. So let's jump into here. We can get this unfolded like so, and we'll just do one very quick pass and see what it comes down to. It's just the whole thing of waiting an absolute age for the sprayer to finally unfold itself. I'm going to do it down this bottom here, I think. So let's go get steering assist on like so. And that does remind me, there was a comment made about, was it headland management or something, to help with the auto steer. I do need to have a look and see what that's all about and add it to the save game, hopefully. Right, let's stop there. So it is saying over here 49% pest. Let's go over here. Oh, 49% pest. Am I meant to be using a pesticide then? Right, I think it's for the whole field average, because it was 50 odd before and now it's 49. So that's the thing that makes the most amount of sense to me, is that it's giving us that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get on, spray it, and then we'll check it once it's sprayed. And if that is the case, I'll carry on and get all the other fields done. So yeah, you can see there that pests has been completely eradicated, so that has worked very well. It does need MP and K put on there. But right, let's get cracked on and we'll get all our other fields done. So I'm hoping this worked on here, because this was at 50 odd percent pests. And the only other field that we haven't done is the maize field, but going in there will cause more of a mess than what I think it'll be worth. So we'll just have to leave that and get on to that as soon as the field's done. So let's just hop out here. Yes, that's done. And it needs P. I forget which way around it was. Was that potassium? I should really know my periodic table, shouldn't I? But let's go have a look at the maize and see what it says. What's nice is we don't seem to be using a lot of insecticide there, so that's very, very good. And let's now go see this. Pests, yeah, 54%, so we should really be going in and doing that, but I'm not going to. Especially because we can do the forage harvesting next month in there, and what I will probably do is forage harvest that, put and gather that up, and then it can all go into the silage clamp. I think that, to me, sounds like a very good idea. But let's drop this off. Then we'll have to make our way down to our field. Which one is it? Field 59? Yes, field 59. We'll have to go down there to get the disc harrow on, and then we can get that cultivated up or disc harrowed up, and then look to get wheat in. And if we have time, we may even roll it. But more importantly, I want to go have a look, because I don't know if many of you I don't know if many of you saw, is what I'm trying to say, is there's a direct drill in the sale, and it's 6 meters, and I believe ours is 6 meters, but not a direct drill. So this could be, especially if it's second hand, could be a very, very good buy, and it'll be the first time that we could possibly look to try and haggle. There we go. Open. So let's just have a look at this, and there's still the Parahara there, which I have realised. How are you going to get that out? You need a telehandler with a strap to lift it up to move that out of the way. So let's go over to here. How do we barter? The asking price is 81,500 for it. 20 hours old, 6 meters. And what did 270 horsepower to pull, and our let's go into here. I don't think that's anywhere near 200. So that instantly rules that out. But it's still very expensive. I would have thought it would have been cheaper than that, which is a great shame, because our drill, I'm sure it's 6 meters. Yeah, 6 meters. So we could sell that to partly pay for some of that, but then I did want to start looking at saving our money to buy the new Massey Ferguson, well, the older version of the Massey Ferguson. But there was a suggestion of, do we sell this? Because that's 104,000, so 105,000, let's say. If we go take it to the store, we'll get a bit more. But that will mean that we have, let's just say 170,000. And if we go into here and medium tractors, it was this one, maxi engine. Oh, we still don't get there with the maxed engine, do we? But we would get there if we went 174. Let's go there, 155, and that gives us an extra 22 horsepower. But we can always upgrade the engine. I do want to look into it, though, and find out what's the minimum engine you can, because obviously you can in real life upgrade engines. But I think there are more realistic ways to find an engine which you can. If we started with the base engine and then went to the max engine, I think that would be a bit too unrealistic. What else would we have to... Oh, we'd have to... I'm sure, yeah, GPS, so we'd have to put that on. That's another £5,000 to add that in. Oh no, it's this one, £15,000 to add that in. So yeah, it will take all our money. So I think let's just keep saving on that front. Right, let's get down to field 59, and we can go put our disc harrow on. So when we do this time lapse here, I am going to do a bit of multitasking because I do have my second channel. I do run an Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Believe it or not, if you knew me, you would think TikTok, really. I do run all that. So, and I do, and I do YouTube Shorts as well. So the clips I put on for TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, they're what I put on as my YouTube Shorts. So I'm going to upload one of them onto a YouTube Short, I believe. I just need to make sure that I do pay some attention, otherwise I'll end up going onto the train tracks. So I know I could have just left this bit because it's already, well, not this little bit, but the other two lengths that we just did. I know we could have left it, but it would have wound me up knowing that I had left them. And because it was only a last minute decision to do them, I am now having to keep the disc carrier on the floor as I come out the field. Otherwise I'll be leaving wheel marks in. But we're coming back with the drill now anyway, so that would have got rid of everything, I believe. I also managed to get that YouTube short uploaded, so that was a good job. But I have to admit, I've now started playing with headphones in, and if it wasn't for the headphones, I reckon I would have driven straight off the edge. So I'm quite glad that I had them in. And have I... Yes, I did drop it. So let's do that. We also need to go get some diesel again. I seem to be forever at this diesel pub, which is not a bad thing, because it is very much like real life. So let's do that. The only other thing we could possibly look at doing is maybe adding add blue in, but we're just taking small little steps. So that field that we've just done, that is going to go into wheat, and then it needs rolling. From what I can see, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to get it drilled for now, and then we'll start the next episode like we did with this one, where we're rolling it. And then we can possibly go and cut the alfalfa all at the same time. So that'll be a good start to that. I also need to go check our beef cattle, which are just next door, just to see how they're getting on, because I have no clue. And then lastly, I don't know whether I mentioned, but I have reminded myself that I am thinking about selling this purely for the fact that I want one that I can do lime, which we should have one in now. So the KUHN, I'm not going to say the proper name because I don't know whether you'll get in trouble for that. So that is fertilizer and lime. That's just fertilizer. That's fertilizer and lime. So we may swap it straight out for the black version. Working with markers. We'll keep it at standard. Well, the standard capacity is still a fairly big capacity. We'll keep it at that, and I won't bother with the spreading width markers, but that's what I'll probably go for. We can make it green if we really wanted to. We do have the Converland, but that's fertilizer only. Did we use that on Oakbridge? Can't remember. But anyways, let's hop into here. That should be enough, surely. Let's move it all the way around. Come on. There we go. To wheat. We can... I'm just trying to remember how to do this. I'm doing this very much on the keyboard. Right, yeah, that's folding up. So we'll get down to that field now. not without checking these cows first. So they are 7 cows, 100% health, which is brilliant. And they've got the same amount of feed. That's interesting. What's over here? So we've got 1, 2, 3. There's 4. Oh, there's one over there. 5, 6, 7. So we've got a little calf over there. Right, let's get down and get this weight in. We'll go start at the far end, which there will be a little strip that we'll have to do first. So let's just find out where it is. Yeah, that one there. So that's a bit further up here. Then we'll work our way back, which then will mean that we will finish over there as well, which is on the closest to the road, I should say. And what I do want to just have a very quick look at, because I haven't looked at it for a while, if we go Shift G, this is the figure that I'm very interested in, the percentage-wise, because obviously this is my own version. It is designed that with your crops, stimulating that they are stored in a shed in a big heap, but your moisture will always go up. So I do want to just keep an eye on these to see if the moistures do creep up, because it'll be very beneficial for the oats if it does. Obviously the canola, we want to try keep it just below a B grade, but the highest moisture possible that we can have, because it is calculated, or at least it should be calculated, that as the moisture goes up, you do gain literage, because it technically then gets heavier. But obviously, vice versa, when you dry it, you lose literage. So I just need to make sure that that is right. But obviously, I haven't had to play around with that for a while. Uh-oh. Why can't I put this in August? Is the wheat going to be next month? Yes. So, do we have a change of plan? There's basically nothing. There's only canola and alfalfa we can put in. Oh. We better go back to the farm, and I reckon we can rest. And that does mean that we can check to see whether my drying mod actually works or not. What I think I may also do, because that's been running at 90% engine usage just to get us back and struggling to get up to speed. So whilst we rest, shall I just give it a little bit of a service? So let's go into here, and I just need to remember how to do this now. So into there. Repair, right. Maintenance. Repair any fault found on OEM, that's original equipment. 10% if when I'd rather go premium. Automatically start standard repairs. Alright, start. So that's now turned off. Let's hop out of there. I imagine we can't now get into this. I know we can, but maintenance in progress. Right, let's leave the guys in the workshop doing that. We will go rest. The animals... Oh, the animals obviously don't need doing. They've got plenty of food. That could do with a cut, but we'll do it this month. We also need to do silage this month. That will be through... I think we'll be fine. I don't right now, to be fair. Let's just take a bit of a risk. Why do I keep getting stuck on the floor? That's interesting. But right, let's get to the bedroom, and then I just want to check to say, just try and remind ourselves. So the easy one is the canola. That is 9%, but we need to remember the 10.652. Well, there we go. It's saying grain drying moisture tick 2 grain types updated. So is that in Oz's moisture or my moisture? Let's go Shift G. There we go. They've gone up. That's brilliant. So that's working. That's working well. And if we go Shift M, So oats for grade A want to be between 13 and 14. This is different. Q100, Q91. Or is that quality and the percentage you lose? I don't know. So oats, 13%. And the... Where's the canola? Canola, there. Between 8 and 10. So we can afford for this to go up a fair bit. And being when it's grade B, it goes up faster. Grade A goes up slower. So obviously grade A goes up by 0.1. So we've got a fair bit of time before that comes out of grade A, which is good. Right, let's go and check our tractor now. I should have looked at what our account was, but by the looks of it, I don't think we've been billed too much for it. But the weather doesn't look very great, does it? Let's see what she sounds like when we fire her up. We now just need to let her warm up a bit, which that shouldn't take too long. And the engine loads 10%. It's definitely interesting. I've also forgot, because with these fields now, we've got to keep a very close eye on them. We do have... I have to be out to get it up. I imagine I may have to be out of the tractor to get it up. We do have this so we can see. So obviously 97 is our May silage where we haven't done anything with it. So as soon as that's off, we'll sort it. And then we have pests, 76. That could be the farmyard, I believe. Then we also have our oats, alfalfa, and canola. Which, if we say for the canola field, click space here, it tells us low nitrogen, low potassium, rotation okay. So we need nitrogen and potassium, which is P is phosphorus, K is potassium. So if we wanted to, we would look for something that has just nitrogen in and just potassium. So N and K, where if we go on to here and look through our sprays, so that's in our sprays here. So that is nitrogen. I'm not looking at that. So here, so that's 28 nitrogen, 32 nitrogen. So we wouldn't want to go for anything with that, but we would want to go for, I say, what's map? So map is 8 nitrogen, 59 phosphorus. Is it phosphorus the P or is that potassium? Which way around does it go? Let's go back on here. Yeah, so phosphorus and nitrogen. So that would be no good for us, if that makes sense. Right, this should be warm enough. So I will see you back at our field. No, well, I'm going to show you that this guy's been busy buying, hasn't he? There's a plough. That would be very, very good. Yes, a new tractor here. So what's he? 114 he wants for that. This is going to be expensive. It'll be lovely, but expensive. 174,000. Ooh, slurry. What is this one? Oh, only 8 meters cubed. But what's the spreading width on that? 10 meters for 12 or 13,000. We may be able to barter him down on that. So that could be something to keep an eye on. And then a plough. This is an Amazon plough. Yes, that's an Amazon plough, and that is 2.5 meters, 13,000. Oopsie. And then finally, a 6R. Well, that's 192 horsepower, so it's less horses than what ours. Although it does have front weight, which is not ideal because we would want a front PTO, but it does have front loader brackets on it. Oh, it says the price up there as well. And then we've got ourselves a silage grab. What's the capacity? 2,000 litres. Ooh, that's very tempting. Where's the for sale sign? Okay, so it doesn't have for sale signs on these, but for 4,500. That's tempting. And we could also, I've just seen, we could also go and do test drives. So that's really quite cool. Big fan of this mod. Alright, let's go and get ourselves back to the field. So, for the final time, we will get this field done, which we should be able to do now because we're in the correct month. I don't like the fact I put all these wheel marks everywhere, but anyways, so for the final time, we will get this field drilled. So I don't know whether I should really tell you this or not, but for the duration of this episode, I've got myself some new headphones, some Sony ones, and the game volume's been too loud in my ears to the point where I can't really hear, or couldn't really hear what I've been saying. Anyways, so all episode I have been trying to figure out how to turn them down. I've tried to turn the volume down on my keyboard, the lot, and nothing has worked. I've done like circles on my ear, on my like the headphones, all that sort of thing. Just if anyone was watching me, they'd think that I was a broken man. Anyways, I finally figured out in this last time lapse that we've just done how to do it, and I've got to swipe my finger down multiple times or up multiple times. But it is done. So right, that wheat field is now complete, and all that's left to do with that is to roll. So I do just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.